Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. That is beyond long.
Look at this. He's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome, everybody, to week 25 of the 2020-2021 PGA season, the Valero Texas Open, my old stomping grounds prior to last year when we moved back home. Ironically enough, almost a year ago today that we did the move. Not quite a year, but pretty close, as we are a little bit earlier than normal. Actually, I was going to be out about an hour ago. As I just finished wrapping up everything, the DJ news came out of him withdrawing, which I suspected he was going to, but you had to play it as it is for them. But he has withdrawn. I didn't see why he would play here per se, unless he really wanted to grind out his game. But I was going to get out early because we are going to hopefully close on a house, close a contract on a house, as we're coming up on, crazy enough, been here almost a year. We did a 1-year lease when we moved up, not knowing how things would go out and how quick we'd sell our house in San Antonio, which we wound up selling it in one day. So it really wasn't an issue, but it gave us time to get back used to the area here in Norman and figure out where we want to be long term. So excited about that. Going to be another crazy couple months for us getting things ready. But we're here with Valero. Kind of felt like it squished in between an awesome WGC last week, and then we all know the Masters is next week. Can't wait for that. We got tons and tons of contests, giveaways, the big giveaway for all the new signups and upgrades the Monday after. Go over that in a minute. And then, obviously tons of coverage and content that'll start probably this weekend. I assume, just like any other major, the pricing will come out Thursday or Friday. Try to get that first look stuff over the weekend. I don't get too far. The match is a little different than like maybe the Players or something like that, that we kind of know how the field's going to be. We kind of know how the course is going to be. Smaller field, not quite limited field, but when you start marking out 10 to 15 automatic crossouts, you got 80, 90 guys in general that are viable to kind of make that player pool. So it has that higher 66 percentage, although we've seen some lower 66s when Casey was a big chalk guy, missed a cut. It can happen. So a lot of interesting storylines coming into that. So we'll have you covered wall to wall on that. I can't wait for that. Before that, we'll wrap up last week real quick. WGC match play. Biggest swing for me was right there at the end. DJ loses 17 and 18. And I will say, I'll get to the hat in a second, and a little homage to our boy Joel, getting his first W on the PGA Tour on the Corrales. We had him 50-1, released him pre-tournament. So I'm going to do a little tweet later with a little screenshot, and we'll try to raise some money for MD Anderson, who all his fundraiser goes to. A little shout out to him, and congrats on the win, and getting Gups Corner some money as well on that. So we want to give back. We'll do that later on Twitter. But yeah, so DJ loses 17 and 18 to Naw, and then not moments later, Palmer loses to Rahm in the playoff. And those are really just two big moments for my potential upside and winnings. In those weeks, you're almost going to break even with the way we build, because we were 100%, optimal lineups built. Especially if you use a green machine, every lineup that came out of there had a shot at 6-6 in the Elite Eight. Whereas we saw Wednesday, I guess it'd be 39% of the lineups built in the $10 had 0 shots of 6-6 in the Elite Eight. Just mind-boggling to me. It was well covered in the industry. I still think some people just struggle with that event in general. Contests were struggling to fill, even listener leagues and other weekly leagues in the industry. Ours, it was real close to filling at the end, but kind of sucks because I really enjoy it, the puzzle piecing and all that, and I don't want them to back off the contest, but I think a lot of people just check out and they're like, I'm not putting them, I don't want to do all that work and, try to think through the brackets. And I get that, right? If people, and plus you got March Madness going on, all kinds of things. I do think Valero, hopefully they bumped the contest up pretty good for Valero this week. I'm excited for that. Some solid contest leading into the Masters. Kind of a crazy Monday. We got NASCAR going on, Elite Eight tonight, basketball-wise. So exciting time. March is always good. You're getting ready for spring. A lot warmer weather, golfing weather, kids getting outside, sports and playing. So it's a good time of the year. So that was really the big swing for me, those two matches. DJ beats Na and Palmer beats Rahm that early on. Certainly a much better week for me. I didn't have much Kuchar or Billy, though. So I at the end of the day, I wouldn't have expected, a monster week unless somehow that would have changed the output. I did have tons of Scheffler, and I was overweight on Perez. Perez was the one I took out of that outside of DJ, really. And I didn't have a ton of him, but I didn't need to. He was very low owned. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Always do. The community did well. I am kind of good to get back to a regular week, though. Get some showdown. I enjoy showdown, so I kind of miss not having our normal showdowns either. I thought they may bring the captain showdown, kind of like they did for the President's Cup, maybe on one of the times or even on the Sweet 16, but they did not do that. So anyways, the other part, betting. So Harmon saved the week for us on the WGC side. Won his group, got to the Elite Eight. That more than covered, what we got going. And like I said, Joel wins the Corrales for a 50-1 hit. So definitely up on the year. I've hit more winners in this season, or as much winners through March. I equal my best year ever since I've been doing this, been documenting it since 2015. And we still got 4 or 5 seasons left. So betting wise, definitely coming through for us. Need to get on a heater for DFS wise, but I know we'll get there. We've been on the bubble so many times that just a big one's coming. As I mentioned earlier, big push to the Masters. Use the code Masters, gets 30% off any package. That includes a 7-day free trial. So go sign up today. You get everything for free for 7 days. If you want out before, you don't want to stick around, totally understand. No harm, no foul. You can leave before that. You'll never get charged. Can also use Masters to get 30% off any gear in the GC store. Special pricing for members. So if you're a member or a new member and you don't know that, let me know. I'll probably put a new deal in Slack just in case, just to refresh all the new members we've had join the last few weeks. As I march to the Masters, as I mentioned. So if you sign up for one of those packages and you stay through the free trial, and you're an annual member that signs up, you'll get entered into the March to the Masters contest. We're giving away a brand new Titleist driver, set of custom-made Vokey SM8 wedges, and a GC gift pack, which includes stuff from the Masters and GC. You can go to @GupsCorner on Twitter, look at the pinned post, and see the image of all the giveaway stuff. That's going to be awesome. Almost $2,000 in stuff there we're giving away for free to any current sub that signs up for an annual package, upgrades to an annual package, or upgrades to the full site access if you are a current member. So if you're a current annual member and you upgrade, you get into it. If you're a current member and you're monthly and you want to get in and do the annual, you can upgrade. Reach out to us. We'll get you your loyalty discount code. You can upgrade to the annual and get in the drawing as well. Rate and review us on iTunes. Goes a long way, especially during Masters Week. I'll be doing a lot of giveaways. The two biggest that won't be outside the March to the Masters, which is for new signups and upgrades, is rate and review us on iTunes. That gets you into a big drawing we'll be doing next week. And then subscribe to us on YouTube. Like the video, even if you're an audio listener, which we seem to have a ton more audios than videos so far. The videos are starting to pick up. Go ahead and watch or click over to the YouTube. Click the subscribe button. Leave a comment, and there's another way to get into a drawing next week during the Masters. I want you to leave a comment on who do you think will miss the cut in the 10K range this week. Give me one name out of that. Leave a comment in the video. That's all you got to do, and you're entered into drawing. So we'll be doing that drawing, the YouTube drawing, the rate and review iTunes drawing next week, and then the March to the Masters will be the Monday after the Augusta. So minimum of 3 drawings, free to get in those first 2, and that's the minimum. We'll do more, and obviously in the Slack we have a little fun from time to time as well. Listener League winner. Listener League is up. I'll put it in the description. 400 spots, 3 max this week. Let's fill it up quick so we can get a big one for next week. I like to get 600 next week for the Masters, maybe even push for 700. Let's fill this up by Tuesday night, and I'll ask DK to get us 700 for the Masters. Last week's winner, M. Carter 628, saw him on a bunch of leaderboards last week. Had a great lineup. Rahm, Reed, Billy Ho, Scheffler, Kim, and Perez. Tremendous build. Congrats to him. I will send him the invite to the League of Champions for the end of the season. Big battle royal that we will have going on. We'll give away more prizes for that. Get straight to the course. That's what we're here for. I don't feel like it's a hangover week, kind of like, I don't know, after Honda or after TPC. Like, I'm excited. I don't know if it's because the Masters is so close and you hear the music and all that. If it's us, finding what's going to be our home probably until our kids get done with school. Just life in general. I'm just happy. I'm excited. Things are going as good as it has in the last year for me and for us as a family. So this is, our hometown was in San Antonio the last several years. So I played this course. I have a good friend that's been a club champion there several years. Talked to him this morning, got kind of an update. So I feel good about this week. It's not the strongest of field, especially with DJ pulling out, but there's a lot of solid guys here on what normally plays a somewhat difficult course. It did not play as difficult in 2019 as it was the week before the Masters in for the first time. But I do think it'll still play pretty tough. Weather depending always. TPC San Antonio, the Oaks course. There is 2 courses there, but they are playing the Oaks. Par 72, about 7,450 yards. Pretty average green size. Fairways are super hard to hit here. Distance does matter, getting off the tee, but accuracy matters too. Kind of that blend we're looking for this week. These are Bermuda greens, but they are 100% overseeded. I did confirm that with a guy that literally plays them every week, multiple times a week. No Bermuda at this place right now, except for some of the dormant grass that's coming through in the rough. The rough is extremely light right now. It's not going to be as penal as what it has been. Similar to 2019. That was one reason why I think it played a little bit easier than what we had seen in prior years. That big winter storm and freeze that came through didn't really do any favors to all that. So, still pretty dormant right now down there, with overseed that will probably, like we've been doing, putt. If you're going to pick anything, I would pick bent. That's how I would do it. That's what, he mentioned as well. It still will have a little bit of that grain feel to it. So you could look at bent Bermuda mix if you wanted to. I would just use Ben as just a guide. I'm not looking too deep into putting. Any place that Corey Connors has won, and he won it when he wasn't a very good putter. It really comes down to ball striking and getting close. Putting is always going to matter, but it's so hard to predict when we have this kind of overseed that isn't really going to be a true comparison. I don't put a whole lot of factor into that. Weather, the worst wind day is actually going to be Wednesday. It looks brutal, like 30-plus mile-an-hour winds. Not a good practice day for these guys. It's really going to challenge them. Thursday and Friday don't look bad. I think it'll be windy, but not, for South Texas, it's not really going to be that bad. 10, 15 mile an hour, maybe get some gusts of 20, but nothing just horrendous. Maybe a little more into the weekend, but we're really just looking at pre-cut type stuff. We have seen huge wage advantages here before in the past. I don't currently see that. Remember the year that I know the famous one was DJ and 1 or 2 guys were I think there was less than 5 guys out of a wave that made the cut, which is the most extreme we've seen. But I don't see that at all right now. If it does change, obviously we got you covered with the heat maps come Wednesday. I'm gonna have the cut around even. It was +1 in 2019, I believe, or maybe it may have been even in 2019. But now with the T65 and better, I'm gonna go even. It may even get to -1. I'm gonna put the winner not as extreme as Connors was. He won it at 20. Landry at 17. I think it'll be around that 15 to 16 number. It'll test them enough that, maybe Landry, maybe you can see close to 18 or 9. It is going to be scoreable at times. It just hasn't played as tough as it has, but I don't think it'll be that easy. So I'm going to go 14 to 16 was kind of my range. So I'll go 15 under, kind of wins it. As I mentioned, Connors has won here. Landry, Chappell, Hoffman, Walker, Bowditch, we mentioned that. Laird, Ben Curtis, Brennan Steele, Scott, Zach Johnson back to back. Runners up, Hoffman, Brooks, Reed, Spieth, Rory, Chappell, Hoffman. So you kind of see some of the names that do repeat over and over. Our boy Anthony Kim back in 06. That's a blast from the past. But ball striking is going to be important for sure. Getting off the tee, length and being in the fairway doesn't matter to an extent. The rough's not going to be as penal, but you can't be blowing it all over the place. So stat-wise, I'm kind of looking at ball striking, bogey avoidance, good drives, accurate approach, around the green. I think you're going to be able to get up and down. at times. And I will look at a little bit of either birdie or better or DK points, however you want to do that, because I think it'll score more than usual. Not super crazy, but I do think it does matter to be able to score out here. Probably pull that more into the deep dive as we get into tomorrow. Ranges this week with DJ leaving, we got 4 in the 10K, 7 in the 9K, 11 in the 8K, 33 in the 7K, 81 in the 6K. So I think I saw the name who's replacing him, but he'll probably get added with any Monday Qs tomorrow, and I imagine all those guys will fall into the 6K, so that number may bump up to like 85 or so. Sweet 16, as usual for you guys. Three players and a bubble boy in each of the 4 ranges, giving us 16 players. I do a fade of the week, a sleeper of the week, gut fill plays, and then betting one and done, and we get out of here. 9K and above for me. So Connors will probably be the highest projected own, I would imagine. Right there. I think Spieth could get real popular as well. We're early, right? So it may change a little bit, but I'm considering fading the entire 10K range. And by doing that, Jordan's the one that kind of makes me nervous, or Matsu, because I think he'll be super low owned potentially, like he has been. I'll be able to go overweight on Connors and just eat that chalk. I don't see myself loading up on Connors and Spieth and trying to, because you're really getting 2 of what could be 2 of the highest owned guys. Unless Spieth just doesn't really, people dodge on him this week. I don't really know why he wouldn't. He's coming in pretty good form. Still played good in match play. I think he'll be popular, but I mean, I'm comfortable with dodging that entire top range. You got Scheffler, who, played 7 rounds of golf last week. He's young. He can still get out there. I don't think it worries him, but at his price, he's still got to come in high. Finau, 11K, has only played here 2 last 4 years. He's at a 3rd and a 61st. Is he here for a tune-up? Focusing on I'm never going to say someone's showing up here just to get by, but at the price tag, he's got now he's the highest price with DJ. So he's got to be up there in the top 5, which we know Tony can do. But again, it's the strategy part. I'm okay with it. And Matsu was really the only one I thought about playing, because I think he'll be the lowest owned up there. Because I think people would rather just drop down to the 9K. And I love some of the guys in the 8K this week. So I'm really leaning towards that balance build and just saying, all right, I'll fade the top guys, and if they don't do well or not as well, maybe that's a big strategy. I may keep one alive in there, and it probably would be Scheffler or Spieth, whichever Texas boy I want to go with, and just fade Finau, the other guy, and maybe Matsu, but that's depending on if he's going to be popular or not. I don't really think he will be. But my number one play right now is going to be Connors, knowing I'm going to have to be way overweight on him. Just go heavy. He's got a 26 in the first here. His last 2 tournaments, a 3rd, a 7th, and then obviously the WGC. 9,500 seems a little underpriced. Just, obviously the DJ factor wasn't in there, but man, I don't see how he doesn't do good this week. Played well here. Monday Q'd in 2019. We were out there, watched him. Our boy Adon had him as an outright. I can't remember what he hit him at, 201 or something crazy. My next up will be Hoffman. He's just a Texas specialist. Always does well here. His last 4 years here, a 1st, a 40th, a 64th, and a 2nd. Coming in pretty good form. A 10th at API, a 17th at TPC, and then a 34th at Corrales. So 9,200 isn't stupid expensive for him. If you go back even before 2016, he's got great records here, runners up, stuff like that. So I like Hoffman this week. Tringali, 9,300. Hit or miss here, a 60th, a miscut, and a 17th. Hit pretty good form coming in though, a 13th, a miscut, and the 31st. Stat wise, he's 13th for me. Great at bogey avoidance, great at ball striking. Good drives is better, top 3rd of the field. So I like him a lot. Some people may see that price and not really think Tringali matches up to that. So maybe we get him low owned. And my bubble is kind of that Matsu Spieth deal. If I decide to go up into the 10K, Matsu would be a play only if he's just going to be so low owned, but the price he might not be. I'll hit on that Wednesday in the Movers and Shakers pod. And then it really comes down to, at most, I think I'm going to play 2 of the 3, Connor, Scheffler, and Spieth. I think I'll full fade one. I'll fade Tony, and then kind of make a decision from there based on that. That's where I'm at right now on Monday. Obviously, if something major changes by Wednesday, I'll update you there. The rest of the board, really, I'm pretty solid on. Like that top range, I just got to figure out what, listen to the industry, getting the ownership, my projections ready, and see where I want to come in there. That's a big decision for me this week. The rest of it I really like. I love Siwoo, 8,900. Missed a cut in 2016 here, then a 22nd, a 45th, and a 4th. Good, obviously coming in pretty good form, been playing great. Number 1 in good drives for me. Number 2 in bogey avoidance. Top 25 or better in my major 5 categories and stats. Nothing to hate about Siwoo here. Cam Davis, could see him get some love, I think, especially Aussie, win, stuff like that. Gonna hit, bomb it off the tee, and if he can keep it in play, I do love him this week. He missed a cut here last year, but it was only his first time to play it. Got a little better at the Honda after kind of stumbling a little bit. I don't know if I'd want to eat a chalky Cam Davis, but I certainly like him this week a lot. 8,800, I think, is a fair price. Aaron Wise seems to be turning it around. We've been on him a little bit. A 23rd here last year. Last 3 tournaments, a miscut, a 65th, and a 13 at the Honda. We were on him at the Honda, had him at the winning ticket. We know the triple bogey on 10, I think it was, kind of hurt us there. But 15th in my stat model, 32nd in recent form. 8,000 seems like a really good price. I like Aaron Wise this week. My bubble boy is Chris Kirk. Killed us at TPC, but I'll go back to him. Hit or miss here. 13th miscut, 8th miscut. So if he's in it, he seems to be right there. His profile seems to fit here. I don't think he's going to be the longest off the tee by no means, but I think he is going to keep it in play. So his long iron game is on, or longer iron game is on. I like him. At the price, 8,600, maybe a little sticker shock for some. So I'd expect lower ownership early Monday again. Last 3 tournaments, though, an 8th, a 48th, and a 25th. So we know he's, top 5 going into Sunday at TPC and shot 79 or whatever it was. But came back a Honda, battled, top 25 finish there. I like that. I'll take that. I think he's continuing to grind out his game. But, the somewhat roller coaster history here, and he's not going to ball strike it just, approach is going to be good. Off the tee sometimes we got to worry about. Not accuracy, though, so that's why I like him. But Bubble Boy, just because of that. But he'll be in my pool. I like the 8K range a lot this week. And there's several others, but, we only get so many names here. 7K range, HV3. Loves this place. Plays well. 18th, the 7th, the 3rd. Last 3 tournaments, 21st, 61st, and a 19th. And that's API, TPC, and Honda. 3 very tough tracks. So I don't mind it at all. He's number 1 in my stat model, number 5 overall. Love to play this week. I think he's in the right mindset and could get a win here. Legitimately could get a win here. CH3, striking the ball better off the tee, playing much better in general. A 36, a 9th, and a 28th lead into here. His last 2 times out here was 2016, 2017. He got a 9th and a 10th. $7,800. I could see him sneakily getting up to being chalky, but I'll eat it. I play him. I don't mind. I'll take that. Last here before the bubble boy for me is Glover, $7,300. 20th in 2018 and a miscut. Form's getting better and better. 66, a 48th, and a 19th. Seems to be getting himself. 6th in my stat model. I really like him this week. I think he can drive it well, and if it's going on, I think he can get a big advantage at 7,300. We just need to make cut with an upside. He's a perfect fit for that. Next guy, same thing. Bubble Boy, but he'll be in my pool. Vegas. Texas guy, plays a lot down there in this area per se. Houston more so, but a 46th and a 42nd here. So 2 made cuts. Coming into this, he's had a 61st, a 30th, and an 18th, so good for him. Leading to the right way. $7,400 again. Make a cut, upside. That's the kind of guy we need this week. So I like Vegas as a bubble boy, but he will probably be my player pool for MME, no less. 6K, going right back to Patia. We played him, made some good money on him on the West Coast. He had a good showing there. He's 11th in my stat model. He's just cheap, 6,400. Just all those guys just need to make a cut, and I love his upside. I think his pedigree's there, and he's going to be a good player long term. I'll play those kind of guys all day in this field. Next is Sloan. Good showing last week. Was kind of in contention there throughout the weekend. Finished 22nd. Had a 25th the Honda. Missed a cut last year, but just one time. That's always played it, so I don't put too much into that. 18th in recent form and 12th in my stat model. $6,700. I like Roger Sloan this week. And then last, a guy I really like, Tom Lewis. I can see his game fitting great here. He hadn't played here. Missed cut at TPC, then a 36th at Honda, a 56 last week. He's 17th in my stat model. He's a great approach game. He's 7th in accurate approach for me, 21st in good drive, 24th in bogey avoidance. $6,800. I really like that price. He could potentially be a 1 to 3 max candidate as well at that price. Bohogue, grinder, a little bit of mixed form coming in, miscut, 25th. But again, 3 tough tournaments. I don't hold too much against him. He's just okay. That's why he's on the bubble boy for me, but 6,400, he's got enough there flashing that, I like him this week. I like him at a little bit tougher tournament. So the harder this plays, I like him even more. If we see those wins picking up as we get closer to Thursday, he'd probably get a bump for me. But at that price, he's a great play. And he's just on the bubble just because he's just okay. And the form coming in is a little worrisome, back-to-back miscuts, but nothing crazy for $6,400. Fade of the week for me right now is Keegan. I got a feeling Keegan's going to pop everywhere, be talked about. 8,400 seems cheap for him. He's probably, top ball striker. One of the top, he's top 3 in the field. Okay history here. Nothing great. 37th, a miscut, 45th. Good, decent form coming in. I'll give him that. 10th, 29th, 30th. I'm full. The only reason I'm saying fade is because I really think he's going to be 15% or plus owned. If, for some reason it's anti-Keegan week, I don't mind playing him. That's a Wednesday update we'll kind of give you, but I think he's going to be fairly popular this week at that price tag in this field. And so I don't mind. I'm never going to play chalky Keegan. This is not my style. He can just blow up too quick. So I plan to fade him if he's 15% or more. If we see different come Wednesday, we'll address that on the update. Sleeper of the week for me, Cam Champ. He's just got that pedigree for this course. You'd think he'd be there. He missed a cut in 2018 here. Hadn't played otherwise. He's missed cut at API, missed cut at TPC. Stat-wise, though, he's 10th. I feel like he should fit this course. Hasn't really been owned a lot. I don't see him getting over 5% owned this week. $7,000 though, with his ball striking and the way he can hit it off the tee. I'll take a chance there at a low-owned, low-price type of deal. So, my sleeper this week, Cam Champ, not coming in with anything on fire or anything, but he could certainly get it going in a hurry. Gut feel plays. First one for me is Brennan Hagee. A second at the Honda, miscut at Corrales. I know he's pretty popular at Corrales, so maybe a little hangover there for some people. $6,700. He's 24th in my stat ranks. Just a gut feel play there. I think he can hit the ball off the tee. We know he can hit it great off the tee. Kind of fits this deal. Second at the Honda. So it tells me he can play in some wind. So that's a bonus. So I like Hagee as a gut feel. I like Harry Higgs as a gut feel. 36th in my model. He played this back in 2016 with a miscut. TPC a 29th and Honda a 19th. And then, so the stats are just okay. 35th. I just like his grit and his grind. I think he could do well here. So that gut feel, right? That's why you kind of names it up. Benny on 40th in my model. 2 pretty good finishes here. Coming into the week, not so great. A 43rd, a miscut. Stats are just okay. 44th. So, there's enough there that he is great around the green. We know that. So if that becomes, more important than, albeit better for us, 7,500, just got to make a cut. He can do that. He can obviously miss it in a hurry, but just a gut feel play. I think his game's on the bubble of taking that next level at some point. And at the price tag, I like it. And my last gut feel play is Adam Shank, a 26th, 23rd here. Coming in, he has a miscut, a 36th, and a 56th. So decent form, nothing crazy. Stat-wise, he's 38th, though, for me. 9th in accurate approach, 30th in bogey avoidance, 44th in good drive, 41st in ball striking. Nothing that jumps off the page there for you, but at $6,800, probably super, maybe under 5% owned. I don't think he'll be talked about much. I like him as a gut feel play, the last one of the week, as we do 4 of those each week. Betting top 5 that pop in 2 long shots. Provided by Monkey Knife Fight. Use the code GUPS, GUPS, for 100% match on your first deposit up to $50. Top 5, you can go to gupscorner.com affiliates, or just use that code when you go to their website when you're doing your first deposit. Top 5 that popped for me is HV3, 66-1, Davis, 46-1. Mind you, some of these numbers I caught in the middle of the DJ stuff. I actually got better on a few of these, but I got to give you what's available now, and it'll be probably lower as this all DJ withdrawal is going to affect boards across. So hopefully you jump on when you get a chance. Davis 46, Hoffman 28, Palmer 28, Aaron Wise 66. Two long shots, Batia, 200-1. I've already bet that. Free bet of the week for that. I'd do a top 20 on that as well if you're going to bet it. Do it each way if you have those options. I may do a top 5, but I'll for sure will have I already bet it, but I'll have a top 20 on him because that should be a good number. And then Cam Champ, I mentioned him earlier, 125 seems like a really good number for him. One and done this week. Because I'm going to fade that top, maybe where I wind up going to one and done or potentially fade a lot of that top, but Connor's probably going to be super popular. Obviously, he's in play. Spieth, if I wind up fading him in DFS, he may be my one and done. I can still play them both. It's not like they're correlated, but I'm just saying. Hoffman, I think, could get some, popularity this week. Palmer, Cam Davis, could use Finau being, I know I'm probably going to fade him. I'm pretty confident there. Some kind of off the walls this week, like a Brandon Still, he's $9,100. I know that doesn't matter in one and done, but those are guys that can do well here that may just be a little less owned. But you don't have to get cute this week. There's enough options here that you're not going to use probably anywhere else that you can use those guys. Scheffler, like Scheffler this week, Ryan Palmer, those kind of guys I think you can use. Obviously, I'll get my final 5 on Wednesday on that pod and kind of let you know where I'm at there. As well as join me and Kenny Wednesday, 5:30 Eastern, about 6 Eastern, somewhere in there is where we've been going. E9, he has committed to joining this week and next week for the Masters. Always a great show. We have a lot of strategic talk there. The more we've done, the better it gets. You guys feed us questions, makes our talk go a lot better as well. We'll probably hint a little bit about the Masters a little bit, have a little fun in there Wednesday night, so come join us there. Don't forget about March to the Masters. Use the code MASTERS for 30% off, which includes a free 7-day trial. Go check out @Gups Corner Twitter. You'll see all the giveaways we're doing. It's amazing. Over almost $2,000 package we're giving away. Appreciate your guys' support. As I mentioned, look out for the tweet. We will raise some money for Mr. Joel's cause as he won the community some money with that 50-1 cash. You guys have a blessed week, and I will see you Wednesday. Thanks.